Assalamu alaikum and welcome to the second lecture of Operations Management. The code is 563 and I believe you still remember what we have done in the first lecture, I would say. Well, it was nothing much. I was just giving you an overview about how the course is going to move along throughout these 32 lectures, and then which textbooks we are going to talk about and what exactly is operations. Given that this course is comprising of two words, one is operations and another one is strategy. And I believe that you people have already covered that what is operations and what is strategy in isolation. So operations management, that was already the prerequisite for this course, and strategy also, which is at the moment gaining lots of popularity, and you will be amazed to enjoy this fact that there are not many professors of strategy. Like one of the gurus is your Michael Porter at Harvard Business School. But anyway, what we covered in the last lecture, let me just give you the recap over here. Yes, so we talked about a little bit about what the course is going to be, और हम इस कोर्स को कैसे आगे लेके चलेंगे. Then we talked about what are the objectives. And objectives is very, my objectives or outcomes are very, simple and practical. What I want is that it should not be a textbook course. It should be something that when you are listening to this course, it should give you an insight that it is actually happening. It is actually happening around you. Not just, I'll be giving you the examples for Dell, Amazon, ye jo hai aapka Microsoft, Google, Apple, but you have your own Pakistani products like Karshi and so many other firms. So what we have to see is that operations ki application both at the global, at the regional, at the local scale kya hai, and how the strategies are developed. We have covered that which is operations management ke bare mein last time bataya tha. So as I was talking about, ke outcome should be that you should not be a definitional person. Once you are going to interviews after your MBA and people say, oh, what is operations management? What is strategy? What is operations strategy? Differentiate between planning and strategy. Those days are out. So once you are in the corporate world, believe me, they're not going to ask these definitions. And if the company is asking you those definitions, then the company is really small. What you have to see is that, okay, what is the application? Why we are exactly studying this course, operations strategy, or operations strategy mein strategy banti kaise hai, how it helps the operations manager, and do you think that being a business graduate, it really makes you as a niche operations manager once you are done with the course? And even if you are at the moment doing job, that's why you have opted for this distance learning program. So is it really helping you? Are you learning some jargons? And just between you and me, it's basically that once you are in the practical field, it's just the jargons. You know the applications. I always say that in order to be a good MBA, when we are talking about these 30 credit hours, 40 credit hours ke hum courses kar lete hain, finance, management, marketing, MIS, strategic management, all that stuff, does it really qualify us or give us the license that, okay, we are the best people in doing the MBAs, in running the business? I really doubt it. Well, the degree claims that, okay, this is Masters in Business Administration. After this course, you will be able to develop strategy for operations. But let me just give you an idea that if you see around, just look into your house, who is the best manager? And you unanimously might say, or I have my personal experience, that your mother is the best manager at the moment. She may or may not be an MBA, because जिस ज़माने की हम बात कर रहे हैं उस वक्त MBA पाकिस्तान में उस तरीके से आया ही नहीं था. But she is running the house, she knows the finance, she knows how to market it, she knows how to management, she knows the negotiation skills when she's going out for shopping. So she really needed an MBA, and she is running the whole house. She has actually turned you into this business graduate who is now taking this lecture. You were a small baby. So that was her management skills. It never required an MBA. So basically what my point is that it is a practical course. Don't just make it bookish. So one of the things I also mentioned in the last lecture was that you have to talk about the practical things, and for that you have to read. R-E-A-D. And reading means that you have to get out of the textbooks and start reading the magazines. Usually when I'm in the class, I ask my students that, okay, tell me 5 magazines that you have been reading. At least 5 to padne chahiye na, if you want to stay abreast with the changes in the world. And guess mostly don't read, because time ही नहीं होता, और no one has told you कि जो business magazines कौन से हैं. Forbes है, Business Asia है, Business Week है, उसके बाद आपका Economist है. Make a habit that you need to learn these things. The reason being कि मैंने तो आपको theory पढ़ा देनी है, but from where you're going to see कि whether that theory is being applied or not, and that is these magazines, because these business magazines are giving you reports that is happening 2 seconds ago, that is happening like a day ago, that is happening at the moment in present when we are actually learning operation strategy. But ये जो बुक आपको रेफर की गई है, ये मे बी 2010 में लिखी गई थी, 1999 में लिखी गई थी, and those concepts are no more valid, or there are things are changing at the speed of light कि अगर उसकी validity अगर आप देखने लगोगे तो examples पुरानी हो चुकी हैं. So one of the core thing in order to become a best business graduate is that you have to stay abreast with the latest happenings in the business world. और वो कहाँ से आपको मिलेंगे? वो आपको business magazine. So make a list, make a thing that you have to spend sometimes. आजकल smartphones आ गए हुए हैं. What you have to do is just download some app where you get the business news. जो news stickers आपके computers पे हो रहे थे, if you're not using the phone or even on the computers, आपको update होती रहे. And no need to go into details कि जी हुआ क्या. You just have to just be aware that this is happening, and if any news prompts you, if any news interests you, you can go into detail. But be जिसे कहते हैं, be a well-aware, well-informed business graduate, and that will make you make a difference. कि जी students are virtual campus concepts are much better as compared to students who are actually doing 2 years MBA degree in the classroom, because no one is stopping you from going on to the internet. No one is saying, oh, you're a virtual student, that's why you can't go on the internet and you can't read this stuff. But you can. And that I also say for the students who are actually the regular candidates in the universities. No one is asking you that, okay, you can't do that. Just make yourself at par with other people who know things, and that is the difference between you people and the graduates who are and the Ivy Leagues in USA or in France or in England. What is the thing that makes them different? Because they know how to apply the concepts, and unki jo reading habits bani hoti hain, that is remarkable. When I was in US, it was basically that we have in one semester, or particularly in one course, I had to read 32 books, almost one book every week, and that actually broadened my horizon कि आप different चीज़ों को किस तरीके से apply करते हैं. You actually start connecting the dots. अगर मैंने कहा कि जी Microsoft में इस किस्म का काम हो रहा है, so then you realize कि yes, this strategy we have worked upon. I'll give you an example. I think I promised you that I'll tell you in the last lecture, but unfortunately I haven't, and if I have, that would be a recap because we are still on the recap slide. Microsoft, a great leader in terms of the big giant, and now we don't talk about these Toyotas, Hondas, or General Motors, General Electric. Now if you are asking about the big MNCs, 2-3 companies comes to our mind. That is Microsoft, Yahoo, Google, Gmail, Google, and there is Samsung. Now these are all tech companies. यानी आपके जो software industry है, that has really taken away or swept the whole market. So we call them as these big market companies. So what happened that so far what we have done is that Microsoft is working just on Windows, and throughout Bill Gates or Balmer or आजकल जो CEO है, that is Satya Nadella, and they have been working on Microsoft Windows, and जो innovation की capacity थी, that has actually reduced in Microsoft. And when Satya Nadella took over a year back, and he started like making the strategies, making the decisions for Microsoft, now they have realized that okay, they were actually doing something wrong. Just focusing on one product, that is Windows, that is not Microsoft के और भी products हैं, like there is MS Office, or it was always a licensed software, it was not an open वो जैसे कहते हैं open access software नहीं था. So now what they called was that this was a strategy tax, that okay, you are pushing people कि जी आपने और कुछ ना सोचो, you just have to think about Microsoft in terms of Windows, because Windows is our core product. And now they have started diversifying. Earlier they were just focused, that was a strategy tax. They just said कि जी हमने सिर्फ Windows को improve करना है. Employees को appreciate क्या, employees को उतनी space नहीं दिया करते थे so that they cannot work anything else apart from Windows. So now with this new CEO Satya Nadella, who has an Indian origin, now he has started giving space to employees that okay, there is another world apart from Windows. So the thing that they used to call earlier, when they were just focusing on Windows, that is known as a strategy tax. In Microsoft they would call it. So that was basically the story that I wanted to tell you about this strategy कि जी innovation जब हो रही है, आपकी strategies change हो रही होती हैं. So for the past 10 years since the Bill Gates strategy change नहीं हुई थी, लेकिन अब changes इस तरीके से rapid आ रहे हैं और वो they just push you कि जी now you feel कि जी we have to go diversify ourselves, और इससे आपके सारे operations obviously change हो जाते हैं. Now coming on to the book, you realize, you hope you remember, there's another fine book that I found out and I thought okay, let's make that as a textbook, because जो आपकी books होती हैं वो भी once you are starting reading you realize कि भी this one is better, this is more according to the trends, it has more case studies. So I am adding another book on your curriculum and I'll be giving you this ebook. So take care of it very carefully because it's a very good book, you will enjoy reading it. So that is by Nigel. And then what we did was operations. Operations is very simple. It's basically transformation of inputs into outputs with the reference of a process. और उसके बाद then we talked about operations के अंदर अब changes आते जा रहे हैं. And if you remember, I showed you one graph. It was 2014, 2015 में जो नए changes आ रहे हैं. And nowadays we are talking about 3D value chains. Technology has rapidly changed the operations. The way we used to think now, it is actually happening. Now I am here in Pakistan, my product idea is in USA, my product process is somewhere else, and my target market is somewhere in Africa. Globalization. So अब operations को देखने के लिए एक और चीज़ आ गई है, that is known as a 3D value chain. Michael Porter, and there was another Indian business guy who actually developed this 3D value chain. I'll give you in one of the slides in the upcoming जब हम operations management पढ़ते हैं. Now moving on to the second word. As I said, that the first 2-3 lectures are just actually building up. Because hota hai that I used to study and there were so many courses. By the time you start a new course, the pishla course we usually forget about it. So I'm just developing a base when I say that okay, the prerequisite is operations management, and I also feel that okay, aapko strategy ka pata hona chahiye. But there are very few courses in different universities that talk about strategy separate. Like in strategic management aapne padha hota, but that is different from strategy. So today I'm going to focus on strategy और किस तरीके से strategy बनती है, होती क्या है, क्यों हम बनाते हैं. So today's lecture is mostly about strategy because we already covered the operations part. And then from lecture 3 or 4, depending है आपकी pace कैसी है, if you can work with me, we are going to learn more and more. और अगर आप slow हैं, फिर I have to be slow. Anyway, so we will work on strategy and then we will start moving towards operation strategy. Okay, when we are talking about operations, तो उसमें किस किस्म की strategies बनती हैं, cost effective होती हैं, target oriented होती हैं, market penetration वाली होती हैं, किस किस्म की हमने strategy, but with reference to operations, not just the marketing strategy or the management strategy, because strategy can be of any nature and it can be applied in any field. So those were the trends in operations. Now, ladies and gentlemen, or students, now we move on to the next part, and that is, what is strategy? Now, before I go for this, start digging deeper, कि जी आपकी basics में मैं जाऊँ, there is one guy called Kareem Lakhani. Now, Kareem Lakhani is at Harvard, and he did a wonderful work in terms of strategy. And he has written strategy and innovation. Yeah, one should not forget his maximum work is in innovation. And what he talks about कि हम एक organizations में एक बड़ी activity क्या करते थे, planning. And planning is basically what the organization is at the present, what it wants to be in future. इस gap को fill करने के लिए हम strategy बनाते हैं, लेकिन ये वाली जो चीज़ होती है, visioning, mission statements, it's a long term, it's a long process. That is basically planning. Now, what his views are that things are changing और things इतनी rapidly change हो रही हैं, जैसे Thomas Friedman ने कहा कि जी world is not round, the world is flat, और उसने 3 globalization के factors बताए which has actually changed the whole map of earth in terms of the business operations, in terms of culture, in terms of society, in terms of economics, in terms of finances. So the world is flat. There was one interview by Thomas Friedman, or usi interview mein there was another woman. I'll share that name, but unke bada acha comparison tha. Thomas Friedman came and he said the world is flat, and this lady came and she said the world is 3D, because she is an expert in 3Ds. और अब when I was telling you these trends, तो हमारी value chain भी 3D आती जा रही है. So some people view it in a mono direction, एक direction में कि जी okay it's flat, or sometimes कहते हैं कि जी now you can see it complete holistically, that is 3D. So same different views, but from different experts, but this is the way you are looking at one situation. So the lesson to be learned is that one thing can be looked from different angles. It's the way you are going to perceive it. So Kareem Lakhani, as I was sharing, that innovation पे इनका बहुत काम है, and strategy पे इसने काम किया. You can like Google his name, but otherwise if you are following the HBR blogs, so he has written quite a lot. Almost every week he's contributing something on a new happening. So one of the sources for your learning is Harvard Business का एक blog है. It's totally free of cost. You can be the member, और फिर आपको एक email daily आती रहती है. Almost, yeah, it's daily. What are the new things happening, or people who write for it, you can easily read that blog easily on your computers. So I think that is a very good source in terms of business, and you would see these things are so common, but the way these professors look at these things, you are amazed. Now innovation is gone, now it's minnovation. Now strategy का जो formulation थी जो हम शुरू में use करते थे, it is now different. Anyway, so what happens is that he talks that जो planning आप किया करते थे, now it's obsolete. He hasn't used the word obsolete, but whenever I read him, I always feel that yeah, he is right in that case. Planning is obsolete, is becoming obsolete. Why? Because uncertainty इतनी ज़्यादा होती जा रही है, and the changes are coming at the speed of light, that we are unable to predict those changes. क्योंकि आप planning उसी वक्त करते हो जब आपको, if you know कि external environment is helpful for you, internal environment is going to remain the same, but these two environments doesn't remain the same because they are always changing. और आजकल he says you are not actually doing planning for long term. हम basically आप जो कर रहे थे, we are just working on contingencies. और contingencies के अंदर you need to be really good. अब तो वो word जो manager है उससे भी change हो गया. Now manager doesn't exist in the business world. अब ज़्यादा वो कहते हैं जी we are creating business leaders. If you have read, or now the word manager has been replaced with leaders, because they think leader का ज़्यादा वो है aura है in terms of the business, and he is actually running the show. That's why. So I very well agree with him that yes, we don't know what is going to happen tomorrow. We don't know how the stock price is going to crash. So आपने उसी टाइम पे डिसीजन लेनी है. शुरू में हम काम कॉन्सेप्ट लेके आया करते थे forecasting. Forecasting is basically collection of data and making assumptions about future. Now Asian Development Bank and other big think tanks or ये जो quantitative analysis करते हैं, they have started using the word nowcasting, Nowcasting. So forecasting is old. Now आजकल नाउ कास्टिंग चल रही है क्योंकि आपने डिसीजंस आज करने हैं. चेंज सुबह आया है. यू हैव टू गिव योर वर्डिक्ट बाय इवनिंग. अब क्या करोगे? यहाँ आपने कोई ऐसी चीज करनी है, कोई ऐसी डिसीजन करनी है जो अभी आपने करनी है, विच कैन नॉट बी प्रोजेक्टेड क्योंकि उसका कोई प्रीवियस ट्रेंड मौजूद ही नहीं, बिकॉज दैट इज टोटली न्यू. सो देयरफॉर now, given these changes, given the interconnectedness between the countries, given the interconnectedness among these companies, so nowadays we are making strategies that are spontaneous, that has to be quick. They are not just based on long-term planning. I'm not saying don't think that I'm quoting that we should not be doing planning. Yes, we do planning, but उस planning को आप देख लो कि changes इतने ज़्यादा आ रहे हैं कि what is the result of that planning? Is that planning really working or not? So वो थोड़ी सी आपकी controversies आ रही हैं. Maybe earlier I was doing planning for 5 years. Maybe now I should do planning for just 1 year because I don't know what is going to happen in 5 years. I know कि शुरू में जब mobiles आए, it was such a luxury good, but now after like 10 years or 5 years, इतनी ज़्यादा penetration होगी है that you may or may not have food, but you will have a cell phone. और वो cell phone भी कोई common नहीं होगा. You will have a smartphone. The companies like Q Mobile, G5, all these companies, they have made the smartphone technology so cheap that for 2,000, 3,000 you can get a good smartphone. And even if you're in village, 4G चल रहा है. अब तो 5G आ गया है. And I hope you know कि 5G को कहते क्या है. The new 5G is known as MIMO. Multiple inputs, multiple outputs. ठीक है? So अब तो MIMO आ रहा है. So as a business graduate, once you are in the classroom, once you are listening to this, to these lectures, do you know कि भी इस वक्त भी कोई innovation इस वक्त हो रही होगी, and that is going to completely change the business operation scene. और हम जनाब पढ़ रहे हैं strategy, पढ़ रहे हैं 4 साल की बनाएं, ये करें वो करें, that doesn't work anymore because we have to, in order to survive, in order to have a competitive advantage, in order to have rather a sustainable competitive advantage, we are not just talking about कि जी हमें सिर्फ इस साल competitive advantage मिले. We are talking about sustainable competitive advantage, that this should be sustainable. It should not be just 1 year. It should be 5 years, for 10 years, like Coca-Cola, Nike, Procter & Gamble, Unilever. You don't see कि companies ने जब 2015 में बेहतरीन काम किया, 2016 के अंदर people said कि okay, now we don't like Procter & Gamble, let's go for Unilever or any other company. So therefore, what I'm trying to say is that we have to be far more vigilant. As a new breed of business graduates, our task is not to be just focusing on the old formulas. Our task is to be creating new one. Creativity आपके अंदर ज़्यादा होनी चाहिए. एक होती है knowledge और एक होती है creativity. Now what we expect in our managers is creativity. They need to come up with some innovative solutions so that we can have a better sustainable human world where solutions are actually meant for the society rather for the profits. Now that was something Kareem Lakhani, a brilliant writer, read it and you will enjoy that how he is actually viewing the world. Like world is flat, world is 3D, and let's see what is his views about strategy, planning, innovation. Now what exactly is strategy? Let me just read it loud for you. It is basically a business approach to a set of competitive moves that are designed to generate successful outcome. Now a company really wants to have always a competitive advantage. So आपके कुछ ऐसे moves होते हैं. If you're chess players, you know it very well, and that is how you form strategy. कि जी मैं अपने आप को इस तरीके से मेरी movements होनी चाहिए so that I am always competitive, I am always in a better shape, I am always 2 steps ahead against my competitor. If you have read recently the strategies employed by Samsung, the strategies employed by Apple, you will be amazed कि किस किस्म से वो innovations कर रहे हैं, किस किस्म से अपना product लेके आते हैं. i6 आता है and Samsung says, okay, my new product is coming. Toyota लेके आता है, Honda कहता है my new product. So how you are going to have that competitive advantage and how do you going to keep, क्योंकि आपका जो size of the target जो market share है वो तो वही है ना, people in the planet remain the same, so आपने उस market share को कैसे increase करना है, that is the point. And if you are not going to talk about going to deliver a right product, believe me, consumer के पास अब इतनी choice है that if he's unsatisfied, if he doesn't like Apple, he will move to Samsung. If he doesn't like Samsung, he will move to this Microsoft phone. If he doesn't like Microsoft phone, he can move to this Nokia Lumina. So उसके पास अब इतनी choice है that he cannot say कि oh, I am a loyal customer of Apple, so I am going to stay with this company forever. Sorry, that is an old belief. जब शुरू में भी consumer के पास choice नहीं होती थी. Now consumer is well informed. Now you have developed so many apps कि जी आपने सिर्फ scan करना और आपको पता चल जाता है product कहाँ से बना था, कितना पुराना है, what is the information. So now he is much more informed consumer, and we say consumer are now educated. Consumer knows what he's getting, and consumer wants to get the maximum value of his money. So अब हमने किस किस्म से strategy बनानी है so that we remain sustainable, we remain competitive, and consumer always says that, well, I would love to have the product of this company because this product always gives me the value of my money that I'm spending on that. So it's basically the second point is basically the game plan. Now strategy का जो word आता है आपके ज़हन में chess भी आनी चाहिए. And if you see that what these kings and maharajas and all these Mughal emperors वो क्या किया करते थे, most of the time if you have seen in the movies, they were always busy in playing chess. Why they were busy in playing chess, that was remarkable. And either they played chess या second जो movie में cut आता था, they were fighting. And when they are fighting, they would one party would lose and one party would win. How they were making these strategies, they were actually using chess as a game platform where they would make the war strategies. That's why they were good at chess. That's why they could play they could go into battles and they would just play like as if they were playing the chess, that from here this army, this is the protection, this is I'm going to work on. So आपके जो थे, that is also a strategy, a war strategy. वो भी उनकी operation strategy. Operations is everywhere. If you eliminate operations, marketing वाले बैठे रहेंगे, finance वाले बैठे रहेंगे. So it's basically the guys who are in the operations who are the movers and shakers. That may be engineers, that may be business graduates who understand कि जी आपने अपनी operations किस तरह करनी है. The new breed of managers that are coming nowadays, those are your supply chain managers, which is Pakistan Tobacco Company क्या कहती है supply chain को, that is basically seed to smoke. So जब आप seed से smoke तक यानी आपकी overall from the product की concept से लेके जब आपने raw material खरीदा till consumer ने उसको utilize नहीं किया, आपका supply chain manager उस पे सारा responsible होता है. That is operations, and operations just becomes the mini part of it. Anyway, so what is exactly strategy doing for your organization? It is actually strengthening the organization's competitive advantage. I am in the market इसी वजह से हूँ क्योंकि मेरा competitive advantage है. Competitive advantage might be because of my quality. Competitive advantage might be because of the low cost. Competitive advantage might be because I have the better access to raw material. Competitive advantage might be because I have technology. So there can be zillion, not million, there can be zillion factors जिसको आपको क्या कहते हैं competitive advantage देते हैं. That's why you see कि एक product है but उसके इतने ज़्यादा substitutes हैं. Pepsi and Coke are not the same products. Why Coke is also thriving and Pepsi is also thriving? Because they both have competitive advantage. Why Bata and Service is still existing? Because they both have competitive advantage. Why Samsung and Nokia and this Apple? Everyone has a competitive advantage. Why ComSat's graduates are better off in Islamabad or maybe anywhere? Because they have competitive advantage as compared to other universities. Maybe our competitor when we're talking about the virtual campus, AIOU. So we maybe have a better competitive advantage because good faculty is teaching you, right? Anyway, so that sums up कि हम एक strategy हमें क्या कर रही होती, that is giving us a competitive advantage against other firms or organizations. Number two, कि strategy हम इस वजह से बनाते हैं because it is actually satisfying our customers. If customers are unhappy, let's wrap up our operations, let's go to some other country and forget about it, because if a customer is unhappy from you, then he's never going to come back to you. No matter what you do, aap us kasmein kha lein, you make promises, you say ki well, I have done now a remarkable job, please come back, let's give me a shot. No, because he has choices. Now he can move to any other product. If you are not going to treat your customer well, as we say, the customer services, like you go, you have Ufone, you have Mobilink, you have Zong, you have Telenor, you have Warid. So if the Warid customer service is not good, he has an easy access. Aram se apna number dusri portal pe change karta hai, and now he starts using this Ufone. Now in the same way, if I'm unhappy with one bank, I can go to some other bank. So what kind of strategy you're going to develop that जो customer A आपके पास 1990 के अंदर आया था, वही customer आपके पास 2015 तक रहे. Now that is the biggest challenge. Now that challenge is on the shoulders of you people, that how to develop that kind of strategy that customer doesn't go, क्योंकि products आपकी market में आते जा रहे हैं. It's not just same two companies जो कि market के अंदर थे. It's not just two banks that were already there. Now there are multiple banks offering different kind of products. उनके हर बैंक का क्या है competitive advantage है. तो आपने कस्टमर को ग्रिप रखना है, क्योंकि जैसे जैसे कस्टमर की भी नीड्स सेम नहीं रहेंगी. कस्टमर की नीड्स क्या हो रही होती हैं, चेंज हो रही होती हैं. एंड एज कस्टमर नीड्स आर चेंजिंग, it means you have to change. If you stay Kanaj, I am going to remain the same, things are not going to work. It's not just like a food recipe. Agar aap wo kehte hain na ki Bundu Khan, there is if you're going on GT Road, there's a very interesting ice cream, well, not Walls, not Häagen-Dazs, there's some kulfi wala, and every person you would see, there are like 30-40 vendors who are selling the same kulfi, and everyone is saying main hu asli wala, I am the genuine guy. So there are so many competitors, ठीक है? And why every क्या कहते हैं, पटारी तो नहीं आप कहेंगे, what you would say, why that every person is running the shop, because उसका कोई competitive advantage है. किसी ने तस्वीर लगाई है, if you happens to be in Islamabad and in F6 there is a shop, the Bengali samosas. And literally I went to that shop, and over there are pictures in which they say that, okay, he has actually, this is the genuine Bengali wala samosa. Why? Because they're trying to satisfy the customer, because this is the genuine, and the two shops are just adjacent to each other. So both are trying that, okay, I am the real person from the Bengal. And I asked him, okay, are you the real one? And he said, yes, you see the picture that I have placed, this is, and that Baba that is sitting over there, that is the Bengali Baba. Anyway, so what these organizations, जब आप organization का concept लेके आते हैं, don't think that your organization सिर्फ Procter and Gamble या Ufone या PTC सिर्फ यही है. Organization can be this Bengali समोसे वाला chap also, because he is also running an organization. He also has an operation strategy. No matter the firm is smaller or it's bigger, they both are developing the operation strategy. Now, and the last one, what strategy is actually telling you in its game plan, that is actually telling you that how to achieve performance targets. Because if you're not achieving your performance targets, you are not giving a good delivery product. So therefore, you have to achieve your performance targets. Now, there are three big questions that come across when you're talking about strategy. Number one, where are we now? As I said, वही पहला question Robin से चल रहा है कि where are we at the moment, where we want to go? That is the second question. Then comes how will we get there? यहाँ से यहाँ तक आपने जाना कैसे है? And the last one, how do we know if we got there? वो कहते हैं ना, if you don't know where you are going, any road can take you there. So you need to know that this is where I am, this is want to be, how I go there, and how would I know that I have actually reached at that point. So ये आपके 4 questions होते हैं which are involved in strategy. So आपने strategy के अंदर ये भी आपको पता होना चाहिए कि जी हमने पहुंचना कैसे, फिर उस success को हम measure कैसे करेंगे, ठीक है? Now, strategic management, what are we actually talking about? That it all starts that you need to know that what is your mission, defining business and stating a mission. Mission statement is actually telling you which business you are in. The moment I talk about Walt Disney, now you can't say that Walt Disney is something, it's scaring people. The mission is want to make people happy. Okay, that is the mission statement. Similarly, you have another example, Walt Disney, Nokia, connecting people. Okay, 3M, it says that throughout the globe, 3M's product should be in every house. That's the mission of 3M. ठीक है, जो के Scotch tape, जो के we always buy a very common product till the airplanes. ये product यहाँ तक उसके products की range है. It's a big conglomerate. Then you have to define your objectives. Objectives क्या होते हैं? These are the endpoints towards which any activity is directed, and your objectives needs to be measurable. वही जो SMART का हम एक formula करते हैं. You know it. SMART. Should I talk about it? Better, you should know it. Otherwise, फिर हम management ही पढ़ाने लग पड़ेंगे. ठीक है? Anyway, so then talks about the objectives. कि जो objectives आपके कैसे होते हैं? They should be measurable, and then you have to craft. कि आपने objectives बना लिए which are quantifiable, which are achievable, which are time bound. So अब आप उसको उन objectives को achieve करने के लिए आप क्या बना रहे होते हैं? Then you start formulating your strategy, and once you have made the strategy in theoretical form, then you start implementing that strategy, and once you have implemented that strategy, अब आपने क्या किया? You start evaluating the performance of the strategy, whether a strategy was successful or not, and reviewing the new developments and taking corrective actions, क्योंकि एकदम change हो सकता है. So things are changing, और जब आपने strategy बनाई तब कोई और circumstance था, जब strategy implement की तब कोई और circumstance आ गया. ठीक है? So what happens? You have to change. You have to make corrective measures that okay, now my strategy needs to be changed. For example, I open a new restaurant, and I open a new a restaurant, a Chinese cuisine. और Chinese cuisine मैंने खोला, and it keeps on working. Ultimately क्या हुआ कि जो लोगों, the people ने उनका taste change हो गया, या और लोग आ गए. There was more new housing society over there, and every time I open the Chinese, they always asking कि सर कोई barbecue होना चाहिए. There needs to be some local cuisine. Now either you say कि no जी हम तो authentic Chinese है, अब्बा जी ने मुझे ये he has given me this inheritance में मुझे होटल मिला, तो मैंने Chinese food ही सिर्फ करना है. You will be lost. कोई और कंपनी आएगी क्योंकि बारबेक्यू की डिमांड आ रही है, they will fulfill it and they will take your market share. Now if you don't take care of that external change that people are now demanding for Pakistani food, you are not going to work into it. Now you see in different restaurants, what they have multiple menus. We have Chinese, we have barbecue, we have Pakistani, we have this, क्योंकि different किस्म के customers आते हैं, and they require different kinds of needs. और अगर आप सिर्फ एक niche कर रहे हो, it's not going to work. So therefore, you have to also evaluate कि जी आपके क्या changes आ रहे हैं और आपने उन changes को measure कैसे करना है. Now coming on to how do you develop your mission and objectives. अब ऑर्गेनाइजेशन की जो मिशन होती है, दैट इज़ द कोर थिंग कि जी माइक्रोसॉफ्ट की है, एप्पल की है, उसके बाद याहू की है, गूगल की है. अब ऑर्गेनाइजेशन का जो मिशन होता है, दैट रिफ्लेक्ट्स मैनेजमेंट विजन ऑफ व्हाट ऑर्गेनाइजेशन सीक्स टू डू एंड बिकम. लॉन्ग टर्म, it's a long term, but it doesn't keep on changing. It remains the same. Walt Disney का आज भी यही है, that making people happy. Then it provides a clear vision of what the organization is trying to accomplish for its customer. Yani it is in black and white, and it gives you a clear vision, and it actually gives you an intent to take the business position. कि आपने business में अपने आप को position कैसे किया है. Now coming on to the objectives, जो कि मैंने आपको बताया, these are the endpoints towards which any activity is directed. Over here what we are looking into, convert the mission. आपने उसी mission से क्या निकालने होते हैं, objectives निकालने होते हैं, those are your performance targets. And then उन performance targets पे आपने क्या लगा दिया, आपने time bounds कर दिया, उस पे timelines आपने दे दिया. Within 1 year हम ये काम करेंगे, within 2 years हम इतनी expansion करेंगे, within 3 years I'll go to that market, within 4th year I'll become an international product. And ये ना हो कि वो सारे hypothetical किस्म के हों, they needs to be achievable. वही smart वाला formula. Then there are two types. One is your financial ऑब्जेक्टिव होता है आउटकम्स दैट रिलेट टू इम्प्रूविंग द फाइनेंशियल परफॉर्मेंस. ऑब्वियसली यू कांट से कि जी मेरा टारगेट है कि मैंने सिर्फ $100,000 का प्रॉफिट लेना. नो, इट हैज़ टू बी इम्प्रूविंग. सो आपकी फाइनेंशियल परफॉर्मेंस के टारगेट्स होते हैं कि जी दिस ईयर आवर फाइनेंशियल टारगेट्स हैं, यहाँ हमारा प्रॉफिट का टारगेट ये है, नेक्स्ट ईयर हमारा इतना होगा, थर्ड ईयर हमारा इतना होगा, हमने ब्रेक इवन से इतनी स्टेज पे निकलना है. सो यू हैव टू हैव दीज फाइनेंशियल परफॉर्मेंस टारगेट्स. देन देयर कम्स द स्ट्रेटेजिक टारगेट्स. अब स्ट्रेटेजिक ऑब्जेक्टिव्स क्या होते हैं? आउटकम्स दैट विल रिजल्ट इन ग्रेटर कंपिटिटिवनेस, यानी आपका कंपटीशन तो होगा. यू कांट हैव अ मोनोपोली, वेरी रेयर. इवन माइक्रोसॉफ्ट नाउ डजंट एंजॉय द मोनोपोली. एंड स्ट्रॉन्गर लॉन्ग टर्म मार्केट पोजीशन, कि आप अपने आप को लॉन्ग टर्म किस तरह देख रहे हैं ताकि आपका सस्टेनेबल कंपेटिटिव एडवांटेज रहे. Now, these are some of the objectives that are fair that you could see in the slide. Number one is the financial. अब financial में उसने क्या target, मसलन financial objective क्या उसने बनाया है? Increase earning growth from 10 to 15% per year. Now comes the second objective, that is basically the boost return on equity investment from 15 to 20%. Even उसने ये भी बताया है in 2009, and achieve and maintain a AAA bond rating. ये credit ratings होता है AAA, AA, B, C, ये जो क्रेडिट रेटिंग एजेंसीज होती हैं, ठीक है. सो ये आपके फाइनेंशियल ऑब्जेक्टिव्स आते हैं. स्ट्रेटेजिक ऑब्जेक्टिव्स क्या हो सकते हैं? इंक्रीज इन द मार्केट शेयर फ्रॉम 18% to 20% इन 2009. उसने आपको ये भी बता दिया कहाँ से कहाँ पे जाना और कितने टाइम में आपने जाना इन 2009. ओवरटेक द राइवल्स ऑन क्वालिटी और कस्टमर सर्विस बाय 2010. अटेन लोअर ओवरऑल कॉस्ट्स बाय दैट राइवल्स बाय 2011. आपने कंपेटिटर्स को माइंड में रख रहे हैं. देन बिकम अ लीडर इन न्यू प्रोडक्ट इंट्रोडक्शंस बाय 2010 एंड अचीव टेक्नोलॉजिकल superiority बाय 2012. नाउ दीज आर डिफरेंट स्ट्रेटेजिक ऑब्जेक्टिव्स. वन आर फाइनेंशियल ऑब्जेक्टिव्स और एक आपके होते हैं स्ट्रेटेजिक ऑब्जेक्टिव्स. नाउ what else the strategy includes? Number one, that's your how to satisfy your customers. That is really important because your customers are your asset. If your customers are leaving you, no need for your operations. Let's lock up the door and sleep. Now, how to grow the business? अब business क्या हो सकता है? business की growth होती है. Number one is your organic growth. Organic growth होती है जो आपकी normal process के साथ आप you're making interventions, you're developing new products, you're developing products and you are actually growing. That is organic growth. Organizations अपनी pace पे grow कर रही हैं. एक होता है acquisition. That's what different companies have started. कि जी आपने एक कंपनी खरीदने लग पड़ते हैं. So you it's not कि वो grow नहीं कर रही, एक बड़े बच्चे को आपने adopt कर लिया है and your size has become bigger. So that is another way of growth. ठीक है. So इस तरीके से आपके businesses grow कर रहे हैं. One is organic and another one is by acquisition. And how do you respond to the changing industry and marketing conditions? Very important, very critical at the moment. ये वाली चीज़ सबसे ज़्यादा critical है. How to best capitalize on new opportunities. Opportunities आती हैं. Now it's not necessary कि आपने हर चीज़ पे capitalize करना है. You have to see कि आपकी finances क्या हैं. You have to see what are your strengths. For example, there are certain companies, अब क्या सारी companies ने कर लिया हुआ है that who actually earlier made unstitched clothing like Gul Ahmed tha, Bonanza to always tha, Gul Ahmed, Al Karam, all these now they have started giving the stitched clothes. Junaid Jamshed, J. Stitched clothes देने लग पड़ा, ठीक है. So नई अपॉर्चुनिटीज पे आप कैसे कैपिटलाइज करते हैं, दैट इज ऑल्सो पार्ट ऑफ योर स्ट्रैटेजी. देन हाउ टू मैनेज ईच फंक्शनल पीस ऑफ बिजनेस. फंक्शनल पीस यही कि जी आपका मार्केटिंग, फाइनेंस, ऑपरेशंस, ये दीज आर द 3 पिलर्स ऑफ बिजनेस. इनको आप कैसे मैनेज करते हैं. एंड लास्ट वन इज हाउ टू अचीव स्ट्रेटेजिक एंड फाइनेंशियल ऑब्जेक्टिव्स, जो कि हमने पीछे बनाया. सो स्ट्रैटेजी ये सारे काम कर रही है आपकी ऑर्गेनाइजेशन में. अब क्या बनाते हैं? इन ऑर्डर टू हैव, देन यू मेक अ स्ट्रेटेजिक प्लान. अब स्ट्रेटेजिक प्लान क्या करता है? स्ट्रेटेजिक प्लान एक्चुअली टेल्स यू वेयर आवर ऑर्गेनाइजेशन इज हेडिंग. आइदर इट इज हेडिंग इन द राइट डायरेक्शन, व्हाट आवर मिशन स्टेटमेंट स्टेट्स, या इट इज हेडिंग टू सम डिफरेंट it is heading to some different area. ठीक है. I am basically a software company, लेकिन मैं बनाने लग पड़ा बच्चों के गाने. Now that is not my niche, that is not my area, so maybe I'm deviating from my objectives. Then short term and long range performance targets के कुछ objectives आपके short term होते हैं, कुछ objectives आपके long run होते हैं. उसके बाद then comes your actions of management and to achieve your desired outcomes. के what are the management actions अब आप implement जब आप करते हो तो either you are achieving your outcomes or not. अब what should be your strategic plan consisting of? Your strategic plan consists of जो हमने सबसे पहले develop किया था, that was your mission statement. Mission statement के बाद then it includes your financial and strategic performance objectives. You call them performance objectives, or you can call them strategic objectives, means the same. So and the last one is your कि उन objectives को achieve करने के लिए then what kind of strategy you are employing. So आपके strategic plan के अंदर ये तीन चीजें आती हैं. Then comes implementation of the strategy. अब implementation of the strategy क्या कहती है? It involves three things. Number one, creating fits between way things are done and what it takes for effective strategy execution. Okay? किस तरीके से चीज़ें हो रही हैं और एक strategy को implement करने के लिए आप which things are to be done. Then you have to execute that strategy both efficiently and effectively. ठीक है? यानी getting minimum out of maximum, doing the things right away. And last one is that जब आप strategy की implementation करो, it actually gives you the desired outcomes. If it is not giving you the desired outcomes, then strategy is wrong, strategy is flopped. And we have seen कि भी आप different strategies लगाते हो, in marketing लगाते हो, in operations आप लगाते हो, and sometimes they fail. Because the reason is कि हमने उस जो changes थे हमने उनको we haven't kept them in our mind. ठीक है? You come to Pakistan and you start selling a very good quality product, international product, लेकिन जो उसकी advertisement है that is in the foreign language. People don't even understand what you are selling. ठीक है? A total wrong implementation. ठीक है? So the most important fit between strategy is between a strategy and organizational capabilities. Strategic implementation उसी वक्त हो सकती है if you have the capability. I say that okay, from now onwards मैं अपनी organization में Oracle वगैरह data banking कर रहा था, now it will be done by cloud computing. And I have no person in my organization who can do cloud computing. That is a wrong fit. So जो आपकी organization capacity है, जो आपकी capability है, this is what you have to do. Now you can't expect that Bengali samosa now from tomorrow starts selling cakes. Gourmet की अगर आप case देखें तो the organization run out very small और आहिस्ता then it turn into कि जी कहाँ से अपनी bakery से अपने cake से, and then it started with now they have their own drinks, now they have their own milk product, they have their own Coke, Cola. And it all started कि जी शिज़ान के competitor एक आपकी bakery खुली and just moved on. And now there are it has competition, but it actually जो कि शिज़ान के अंदर weaknesses थी वो gourmet ने उस gaps को fill करना शुरू. Why? Because उसके अंदर वो capabilities थी. So organizational capability is very prime for the implementation of your strategy. Yeah. Then a reward structure. Remember that incentives are very important to drive people. अगर आपकी strategy के अंदर ना incentive system नहीं है, या if it is not giving you any reward, it is not going to give you the desired kind of results. क्योंकि motivation होनी चाहिए to do some work. There should be something that prompts me towards action, and if I'm not prompted towards action, that is definitely going to create a problem. Then you have the internal support systems within the organizations, और फिर आपकी organization का culture भी बहुत matter करता है. Organization का culture इस तरह matter करता है that कि what kind of culture is there. We just in the start of the lecture I was talking about Microsoft. ठीक है? अब Microsoft के अंदर strategy tax का हमने concept देखा कि सिर्फ Windows पे क्या focus करें. Come across this Google. Now, if you ever been to California, and if you haven't, try, just go for the sake of experience in Google, and agar wo bhi nahi karna, so I'll give you another small tour. Watch the movie Internship, and once you watch the movie you will see that Googleplex kya hai, and they call every action as a googly. ठीक है, उसके बाद they have slides, they have, what they have done is कि उन्हें organization का environment ऐसे रखा हुआ है that creativity is at its peak, innovation is at its peak. What they try to do is कि we are basically an organization that is actually the strongest pillar of that organization is your creativity, your innovation. अब मैं एक डल से कमरे में आपको बिठा दूँ, मैं कहूँ जी टाई आपने लगा के यानी बायोमेट्रिक आपने लगाना है, ये करना है, वो करना है, so 90% of my time is just following the rules and 10% is left कि जी मैं खुद क्या सोचना चाहता हूँ, what I really want to do for the organization. So therefore what Google has done is that they have actually converted your offices as if it's your bedrooms, क्योंकि bedroom is one thing where you actually feel कि जी ये मेरा comfort zone है and this is where I want to think creatively. This is where I want to think beyond boundaries. And once you are thinking beyond boundaries, automatically आपकी organization grow करती है. But this is only possible if your organization culture allows you. अगर आपका organization culture इंतहाई strict है, for example Confucius किस्म का है, Japanese cultures को आप देख लो, Koreans को देख लो, क्रिएटिविटी इनोवेशन कभी भी नहीं आएगी. जितनी आपकी फ्लैट स्ट्रक्चर्ड ऑर्गेनाइजेशंस होंगी उसके अंदर आपका एम्प्लॉय एम्पावर्ड होगा एंड देन दे विल स्टार्ट डूइंग इट. नाउ गूगल ने यही किया है. यू गो देयर, यू आर गोइंग इन शॉट्स, और वो जो लड़के हैं, वो जो the people who they hire, they are young, they are risk takers, and they have worth of millions in their accounts, but they are coming on bicycles, they are eating. और Google कहता है जी okay, from 10 meters के हर फासले पे there should be something for eating, and there is free food in Google. And why they do it? क्योंकि जितने जैसे ही आप खाते हो you come up with bright ideas. उसके बाद फिर आपके Google capsules हैं where you can take a nap, you sleep. And not only Google, World Bank ने क्या किया? World Bank ने बेसमेंट के अंदर आपकी वो लगाई हुई है लॉन्ड्री. ठीक है, लॉन्ड्री इज अ बिग इशू इन US. So what they do is कि वो कहते हैं जी आप संडे को भी आओ, wash your clothes and do work. ठीक है, so organizations ने इस किस्म का culture develop कर लिया हुआ है where they want employees to spend more time in the organization. The more you spend the time in the organization, the more you work for the organization. Rather than saying कि 9 o'clock I'm here, 5 o'clock I'm out, then you are just a machine, you are just a robot. For flex times हैं, आराम से आप आओ, but you work for the betterment of the organization. Now that is one extreme. On the other side, what happens is Samsung, a lot of innovations are happening, but what it has done is कि अगर आप Samsung के original office जाओ, original means कि जी original ही है, but Samsung के head office जाओ, so very Confucius style management, everything is in place, everything is organized, no rough and tough, कोई shave shoes नहीं बड़ी हुई, टाइयाँ, culture, ये सारा कुछ आपको नजर आएगा. But अब इस culture के अंदर can you have creativity? That's a big question mark. Now what they have done is just across the road, Samsung ने क्या किया हुआ है, एक अपना innovation center खोला हुआ है, and in that innovation center what they are doing is that it's just like a mini Google. No rules, nothing. Everyone is equal. Think and be entrepreneurs. आप जो काम करना चाहते हो आप करो क्योंकि आपको उतनी स्पेस दी है. So organization culture is very important क्योंकि culture आपका क्या हो रहा है, वो आपको बता रहा होता है what are the do's and don'ts. ये कोई written statements नहीं होती, but they are actually you have to follow them. You can't be rebellion because the moment आप यहाँ पे rebellious हो जाते हो आप कहते हो sorry, you are out of the organization. आपको सबसे पहले ये कहते हैं kindly you have to stand. You have to stand or you have to do this thing. आपने खाना 12 बजे खाना है because this is not the culture over here. So these are some of the things that we have to realize in order to implement the strategy efficiently. If your culture is really hard, army, you can't say that a second lieutenant can go in a shorts for a parade. Sorry, it is never going to happen. Creativity वहाँ पे नहीं And you can't say creativity because you have to follow the rules, and that makes them different from the civilians, because they have to be on time, they have to follow the rule, they have to follow the instruction. They can't change A, B, C है तो A, B, C ही रहेगा. It is not going to be C, B, A, or it is not going to be B, A, C. It has to be A, B, C. So culture. So अगर वहाँ पे आप strategy लेके आते हैं तो आप Google की strategy आर्मी में अप्लाई नहीं कर सकते. So your organization culture is different. So therefore these are some of the crucial factors when we are implementing the strategy. And what you have to see is कि आपकी organizational capability क्या होती है. Then you have to see what's your reward structure. Then you need to know what are the internal support systems within the organization and what kind of organizational structure you have, culture you have. And these things, I would say that once you are actually developing the strategy, जब पिछली slide में I was talking about developing the strategic plan, जब आप strategy mapping कर रहे होते हैं, you should understand this thing कि जी मैंने ये वाले काम इस implementation या उसकी effectiveness उस वक्त होगी if the culture is allowing you. There are a number of things that we try to say कि जी हम आप innovation लेके आए, change कर दें culture, and you do this. कल से आप Pakistan has start wearing sherwanis, start wearing the national dress here, but things don't work like that, because you will have resilience, you will have resistance. So strategy ऐसी बनाए which your organization के पास जो जिसकी capacity हो, जो culture हो, then it is actually going to give you results. Otherwise it's going to be a failed venture. And then we talked about the performance, evaluating the performance. If we're going for just the definition of evaluation, you just say that evaluation is basically determining the value, determining the worth of any intervention. So अब हम उस performance को evaluate कर रहे हैं कि आया the works that we have done, either it actually taken us over there, कितना कहाँ तक हम पहुँचे हैं, is it good or is it bad? So the tasks of strategic management are not one time only exercise, because number one, times and conditions are changing. That was the first thing in the lecture that I've already told you. So you know about that these changes are taking place. And even when you are watching this lecture, there are changes. Abhi aap apna smartphone uthaye, and if you look at, something has gone down, something has gone up, कोई नई innovation हो गई है, कोई नई change आ गई है, organizational structure चला गया है, Angro का CEO change हो गया है, UBL का is the highest paid CEO at the moment. So therefore these things are happening, they are changing, and events change over time. और ये वाले events same नहीं रहते, it keep on changing. ठीक है, events change over time, and there are new ways of doing things, ठीक है, they're like different innovative ways. And 20 years back I can't have imagined कि the lectures would have been online. Different, ठीक है ना, they are different because you are sitting in your classroom, you are sitting in your home and you are listening to the lecture that I give for like 1 hour, 2 hours in the classroom. You're not even coming to the university and you're listening to this. Things are changing. अब इसको कहते हैं MOOC, MOOC, या massive online courses, something like that. MIT ने start किया, Harvard ने start किया, AIOU ने start किया, CASE ने start किया, इसने start किया, and now that become trend. अब उससे आगे वो if you have browsed on Khan Academy का जो model है, ठीक है, so he has actually started कि आप computer पे खुद ही आप पढ़ो, खुद ही वो आपको अपने performance का measure करो, and you do it. So things have changed the way they used to be. Now you don't need hardcore classrooms. You don't need banks in brick and mortar. You actually need अब जो concept आ गया mobile banking, easy पैसा, time पे, all that stuff. पहले आपको बैंक जाना पड़ता था, फिर ATM की revolution है, अब आप computer भी transfer कर देते, अब आप phone पे एक SMS के through पैसे भेज देते हैं. Things have changed. They are not the same. So operations आपके definitely उससे affect होते हैं. So now new managers have different ideas, different management styles. Some are command, some are empowering, some are very authoritative, लेकिन objectives दोनों achieve करते हैं, but it's the way they are actually leading. So organization में आपके management styles and they are actually changing, ठीक है. अब जो ट्रेंड है आजकल, यू कांट जस्ट कीप द एम्प्लॉय ऑन योर कि जी मैंने ये कह दिया अब आप कर दें. नो, इट डजंट वर्क एनी मोर, बिकॉज अब जो अथॉरिटेटिव कमांडिंग स्टाइल्स थे ये आपके ख़त्म हो गए हैं. बिकॉज एवरी वन हैज़ अ सेल्फ रिस्पेक्ट, एवरी वन हैज़ नो कि जी sorry, if you are not giving me respect, I can move to any other office. ठीक है. So now it has to be more of a friendly nature. ठीक है. जिस तरह Facebook है, Apple है, यहाँ पे Telenor के if you have gone to the office, it's all flat structured. No one is boss, no one is just everyone is sitting at the same level. So अब जो management का तरीका है वो फ़र्क हो गया है. ठीक है. Then as the manager, what we have to do is that we have to constantly evaluate the performance. क्योंकि अगर आप जितनी लेट आप अपनी परफॉर्मेंस का मेजर करेंगे उतनी ज़्यादा आपके करेक्टिव कॉस्ट्स वो ज़्यादा इंक्रीज हो जाएंगे. और जितना आप टाइमली इंटरवेंशंस कर लेते हैं तो उतना आपका बेहतर रह जाता है इन टर्म्स ऑफ योर परफॉर्मेंस, इन टर्म्स ऑफ योर आउटपुट. देन मॉनिटर सिचुएशन एंड डिसाइड हाउ वेल यू आर वर्किंग. ठीक है. आपने मॉनिटरिंग करनी है. मॉनिटरिंग इज एक्चुअली रेगुलर assessment of the performance. Then you have to make necessary adjustment. जहाँ पे आपको लगेगा okay there is deviation, you have to move here or you have to change your work style, you have to change your technology. Some new technology has come, you have to change your supply chain routes. Maybe I'm buying any product from Taiwan, now it's better to buy it from South Korea because the vendor is giving you a better price. So take those corrective actions regularly. ठीक है. So make necessary adjustments. अब make necessary adjustments में क्या हो सकता है? Alter organization's long term direction. वही कि long term वो क्या कहते थे, Keynes, a very renowned economist, he would say in the long term everyone is dead. So talk about short term. ठीक है. सो लॉन्ग टर्म का हमें नहीं पता. सो अगर आपको लगता है कि मेरा लॉन्ग टर्म ऑब्जेक्टिव अचीव नहीं हो रहा है या इट इज़ गोइंग टू चेंज, कि गिवन इतनी ज़्यादा चेंजेस आ गए हैं, सो इट्स बेटर कि आप अपने लॉन्ग टर्म ऑब्जेक्टिव को भी क्या करना है, आल्टर कर लें. देन रेज और लोअर परफॉर्मेंस ऑब्जेक्टिव्स. इफ़ यू आर फीलिंग कि आपकी जो सेल्स टीम है और इफ़ योर पीपल आर नॉट एक्चुअली हैप्पी इन टर्म्स ऑफ डिलीवरिंग देयर वो जिसे कहते हैं ना डिलीवरिंग द टास्क, और आपने जिनको टारगेट्स दिए हैं वो अचीव नहीं हो रहे, लोअर डाउन द परफॉर्मेंस ऑब्जेक्टिव्स रादर देन पुटिंग देम इनटू प्रेशर एंड अफेक्टिंग द क्वालिटी ऑफ द आउटपुट. सो इट्स बेटर कि आप अपने परफॉर्मेंस के जो टारगेट्स हैं उनको क्या कर दें, लोअर कर दें. द मोर यू बिकम लोअर योर टारगेट्स द मच इट इज़ बेटर. उसके बाद आप स्ट्रैटेजी को क्या कर सकते हैं, मॉडिफाई कर सकते हैं. स्ट्रैटेजी इज़ नॉट जस्ट अ ब्लैक एंड वाइट होली ग्रेल नहीं है दैट यू कैन नॉट चेंज, क्योंकि एक्सटर्नल चेंजेस आपके आ जाते हैं, आपके ऑब्जेक्टिव्स चेंज हो गए हैं, आपका मिशन लॉन्ग टर्म मीन्स कि आपका मिशन एज सच ना हो, लेकिन जो लॉन्ग टर्म ऑब्जेक्टिव्स हैं वो अगर आपके चेंज हो रहे हैं, सो यू हैव दैट flexibility that you can change it. So if you दोनों change हो गए, so you have to alter the strategy, you have to modify the strategy. Now we will be doing this every year. Remember कि business में never think that we are just going to talk about the private sector. There are people from the public sector also who do MBA. अब polio campaign in Pakistan. So every year they change the strategy. Sometimes कहते हैं पुलिस साथ जाएगी, sometimes कहते हैं हेल्थ वर्कर्स के वो वुमेन वर्कर्स के साथ एक बंदा जाएगा, ये होगा वो होगा. Why? वो बिकॉज आपका ऑब्जेक्टिव क्या है, पोलियो, बट आपके जो एक्सटर्नल फैक्टर्स हैं वो आपको अलाउ नहीं करते. एंड दैट्स वाई यू कीप ऑन चेंजिंग योर strategy in terms of the desire, in terms of getting the desired outcome. कि आपका पोलियो की रिडक्शन होनी चाहिए. आइदर आप ख़वातीन को भेजें, आइदर आप पुलिस को साथ भेजें, तो आप क्या करते हैं, अपनी स्ट्रैटेजी को मॉडिफाई करते रहते हैं. सो दैट इज़ वन ऑफ द वेज ऑफ डूइंग इट. नाउ लेडीज एंड जेंटलमैन, लेट्स कीप आवर वर्क till evaluating performance. Next lecture mein I'll be talking more about strategy, and inshallah by lecture 1, 2, 3, by lecture 4 we will start and then merge up operation strategy, and then we will start working on कि जो operation strategy कैसे होती है, product में कैसे होगी, process में कैसे होगी, and all that work. And you'll be amazed कि ऑपरेशन स्ट्रैटेजी की जो इंसेप्शन हुई थी, दैट वाज बेसिकली इन 1960s में स्टार्ट होता है, 60s 70s के अंदर. एंड अगेन द क्रेडिट गोज टू हार्वर्ड यूनिवर्सिटी, एंड इट ऑल स्टार्टेड फ्रॉम हार्वर्ड व्हेन दे स्टार्टेड सेइंग कि जी आप अपनी ऑपरेशन स्ट्रैटेजी को इस तरीके से हो कि वो आपकी मिशन या आपकी जो बिजनेस स्ट्रैटेजी वो अकम्प्लिश करे आपका कंपेटिटिव एडवांटेज. सो दैट स्टोरी इज़ फॉर द नेक्स्ट टाइम. टिल देन Have a nice time. Don't forget you have to read all these at least 2. Chalo 5 ka nahi main target deta, at least 2 business magazines को regularly अपने आप computer पे हर week आप देख लिया करें, because that will really improve your personal and professional skills remarkably, and you can get into good jobs. And if you're already in good jobs, you can get into a better vertical promotions by just getting कि जी कौन से आजकल trends जा रहे हैं. And sorry, I'm not, when I talk about trends, वो trends on Twitter की नहीं मैं बात कर रहा, I'm talking about trends in the business world or the economic scenario, what is happening. So therefore, we have to start applying what we are learning here in theory. ठीक है, अगर आप वो apply कर देते हैं, you are a good operations manager. If you don't apply, then let's switch off the computer and don't go for this course, because it's a bit challenging course once you start getting the assignments. Till then, take care of yourself and have a wonderful time. Allah Hafiz.